We got one viewer so far. We'll just wait till we have a couple more viewers and then we'll begin the show. Hello, Matsir, welcome. We're just going to wait for a couple more viewers and then we'll start the show. So if there's any particular mineral that you'd like to see, feel free to ask away in the comments. I know everyone put in their favorite mineral when they first joined the group, but now there's nearly 60 members and I can't remember everyone's favorites. So if you have a favorite, just go ahead, throw it in the comments. I'm going to check the comments out in a minute there, and I'll do my best to pull up your favorite mineral throughout the show. It's not quite 7, what time is it now? 7:04, okay. We'll give it another couple minutes and then we'll start the show here. So the one in A2 is actually chalcopyrite, but after it oxidizes, it actually becomes what's known as bornite or peacock ore. So it's cubic pyrite, but after it oxidizes, it becomes bornite, also known as peacock ore. So you get purple, you get some blues in there, you get that typical gold color that you see from pyrite, also known as fool's gold. And that's A2. Thanks, Metzger. I think there's a little bit of a delay in the video. I have my assistant Oshini watching from her phone, and she says there's a little tiny bit of a delay. So I apologize if there's any problems like that. Yes, it is Canadian. So pretty much everything you see here is either from Ontario or from Quebec. I live right on the border of both provinces, so I have the luxury of going to either or province. All right, we'll start off with A1. Here we have quartz with pink tourmaline. So that's A1. And A2 we already saw, which was bornite, peacock ore. A3 we have black diopside crystals, tiny little specks of purple fluorite, a little piece of microcline, and everything you see here was either dug up or cut out of a wall, and everything was either just cleaned up with a toothbrush and some water and vinegar, or with a little iron pad just to clean out all the dirt and stuff. So that's A3. Moving down the board, we have a nice big piece of Flogopite mica. Really thick. And really shiny. It's really hard to come across mica sheets that are this thick and this big. Most of the time you'll find them. They're the size of your nail, sometimes the size of like a quarter, but never are they palm size and an inch thick. They're usually quite fragile, and they're actually used as an insulator at one point. A5. This was a part of my recent extraction, actually. It's a rough mineral. I'm only asking $10 for this piece. And it's blue apatite with a little bit of calcite. The pink material you see is calcite, and the blue material you see is the apatite. So I do have a lot of apatite available. And apatite back in the day was actually mined and used for fertilizer. Nowadays they have better things for fertilizer, so it's no longer mined, and you can go to abandoned mines and find it everywhere. If you're in the right locality, of course. Alright, back up the board we have B1. Another piece of pink tourmaline on quartz. So the crystals aren't really formed all that well, but you can see the striations. Those are the typical elongated tourmaline striations that you see. If I can get it to focus. There we go. Lovely pink, little bits of purple hue. That's on a calcite, or sorry, quartz. B2, we have another piece of bornite, also known as peacock ore, and it's on quartz. So this one's got a little bit of green turquoise blue color to it, right here. And it's got some purple and gold and that's B2. And B3, we have another diopside specimen. This one's just a little bit larger. It's got a little bit of purple fluorite there, dolomite on the back side. And the pink that you see is actually microcline. There's a big microcline crystal on the inside of this. You can melt it down with muriatic acid to expose that if you wanted to, but then unfortunately it would dissolve all of the black diopside that's atop. They're all really small crystals. It's hard to focus in. But there's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of small little crystals in there. little black diopside crystals. And I believe there's a mix of augite in there as well. And that gold shimmer you see is just a tiny touch of pyrite, also known as fool's gold. Moving along, we have B4. It's another piece of blue apatite. But this one, it has a lot more calcite. It has a little bit of mica in here, this black stuff, you see? Black shiny stuff. And that's the blue apatite on the pink calcite. We do have other specimens that have the actual elongated apatite crystals. I'll get to those afterwards. We're just going to get through the board first. I know there was a couple of you that were really interested in seeing everything from my last extraction. Alrighty, B5. There's a crystal in there for you. A couple of apatite crystals. There's another one on the back there that's really black. That one's really cool. So that's actually an apatite crystal. That's a black apatite, which is a little more rare. Surrounded with all this other green apatite. There's a little bit of the barite forming on top of this pink calcite host. C1, we have a big piece of dogtooth calcite. Looks like icicles hanging from a roof. And C2, we have some more diopside. Lots of black diopside crystals mixed in with some microcline. You can see the more weathered diopside when it's gone green. Lots of crystals on this one too. This one's got microcline, diopside. The squarish pieces are actually augite and not diopside. Diopside's a little longer, but they both look very, very similar. This was a giant apatite piece, but unfortunately it got destroyed. We got another piece of dogtooth calcite on C3. That's C3, dogtooth calcite. We got C4, another piece of apatite. This one's a little bit of a bigger crystal. It's not very long, but it's nice and thick. Got some nice coloration in that one. This barite around it, or barite. Got a couple of other crystals going in towards the calcite host there. Got a missing crystal there that popped out at some point. That's C4. Moving down the board. Just a reminder that everything on the board is $60 or less. A lot of the smaller pieces that you see are between $10 and $30. A lot of the larger pieces that you see are a little more expensive, like this piece here with the big apatite crystal. That one I'm asking $60. This one's got a mix of everything: diopside, apatite, fluorite, calcite, pyrite. This one's got a mix of everything. So that's D1. Actually, I think I skipped C5, which is another apatite piece. Lots of smaller crystals. That's an example of like a $15 or $20 piece. Barite on the back, a little bit of calcite. Then that apple green apatite. So I do have different colors of apatite. As you can see, this one was actually a green and red apatite, also known as watermelon apatite. So I have two separate lots of apatite crystals, just loose apatite crystals outside of their hosts. Some broken, most of them are broken, I should say. But I have a good mix of blue and I have a good mix of watermelon that I will be showing just after we're done the board here. We're almost through the board. So D2, I have some cubic UAV reactive or fluorescent calcite. Nice shiny faces. And this fluoresces a slight yellow color, yellow greenish color. A little more yellow than green though. And we have another piece of calcite. This one is also fluorescent. This one's got some really nice crystals. So this one's not cubic. As you can see, the crystals are quite thin. But a really gorgeous piece. That's D3. We got some more calcite. This one's also fluorescent. Let's try to focus here. There we go. So it is cubic. And it has a yellow glow to it as well, a yellow greenish glow. And I only have a little bit left, but on D5 I have 2 small pieces of amethyst from Thunder Bay, everyone's favorite. So I only have 2 little pieces left. This one I'm only asking 20. Or sorry, this one is 10. That one's 10, and the larger one beside it is 30. I will be going back and getting some more, don't worry. For those of you who really want some of my amethyst, I will be going back to get some more. It's almost like a geode. It's got a nice hole in there. Alrighty, moving on. We got E1. So this is another piece that's from Quebec, Canada. It's from the same locality with all the diopside. So a lot of this black mineral that you're seeing is actually diopside. The purple mineral you're seeing is purple fluorite. And the white mineral you're seeing is a mix of calcite and microcline. And it's the same thing, just black crystals everywhere, good mix. This one's just a lot larger than the rest of them, as you can see. That crumbling you're hearing is a little bit of the calcite. It flakes off a little bit. There's a little apatite crystal in there, 2 of them actually. A little diopside crystal there, the black one. Alrighty, E2, got another piece of apatite. This one's got a lot more crystals, and it is a larger piece. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask away. This was a piece from my last extraction. So the host rock is a pink calcite. We call it salmon pink calcite. And all these little crystals you're seeing in here are apatite crystals. We got a mix of green and black apatite crystals. Black being quite a rare color for apatite. I got a lot of green, a lot of blue, a lot of red, but black apatite is quite rare to come by. E3, got some druzy quartz here. This one, I actually had to soak it for a week and a half to clean out all the dirt. You see there's still a little bit of dirt, but I got most of it. It was not easy to clean that one. But I think I did a pretty good job, I'd say. So I only have 2 pieces like this left, actually. They go pretty fast. Most of my quartz pieces either get posted on our Etsy page or requested immediately from repeat customers because they love our quartz up here. Here's another piece of fluorescent calcite. So if you want a demonstration of the fluorescence before you buy it, I can do that separately after the video. I also have other UV reactive calcite, some that's actually phosphorescent, so it actually holds the glow even when you remove the UV light. This one is actually just fluorescent, so if you remove the light, it doesn't glow, but if you have the light on there, it glows slightly yellow. And last but not least, on our board for now, we have E5. This one is another big phlogopite mica crystal. Another palm size one. This one is 2 inches thick. Very thick. And very shiny. I'm only asking $25 for this piece. So if there's any pieces here, that you see that you like, feel free to ask what the price is. For some reason my comments aren't refreshing. So everything you see on the board is $60 or less. If you see anything that you like, feel free to ask. Over on this side, I got some smaller pieces for you guys. So we got some more green and blue apatite with the pink calcite host. I'm only asking $10 for that piece. We got some more apatite, calcite. And what else we got? We got some purple mica. Smaller crystals. Got some more apatite. This one's got a really nice face to it. I don't know why this one's out of its box, actually. This is supposed to be a part of this box here. So that's all blue apatite rough. I'll go through some of it real quick for you guys, because I know there's quite a few of you that were interested in the blue apatite. Just to give you an idea, it's very, very, very blue. And it's all rough, it's all natural. Everything was just cleaned with water, hosed down, and scrubbed with a toothbrush. Some of them are still in crystal shape. Mind you, not all the crystals are perfect. Some of them have nicer faces than others. Some of them are longer and thicker than others. But all of them have lots of blue. Lots of blue. There's a nice one. So at the moment I do not have a storefront, but if you are local Mets here, you can come by my place and take a look anytime you want. I'll send you a message after we're done with the live video. Here's some watermelon apatite. So I got a lot more watermelon crystals, watermelon apatite crystals, than I do the blue crystals. The blue crystals sold really, really fast. Some of them are actually almost just pure red. Whereas others are a little more green. This one actually almost looks like ammonite. But that was just a big crystal at one point. Can use a little cleaning still. These come right out of the ground just like that. There's nothing special done to them. They're just sprayed down with water and scrubbed with a toothbrush. So that's watermelon apatite, and then that's the blue apatite. I don't have a lot of crystals for the blue apatite. Just a couple in here that still have their crystal shape. The rest of it's meant for polishing, mostly, or tumbling. else do we got? Some smaller pieces of purple fluorite on salmon pink calcite. Those are just $5 pieces. And got a couple more pieces to show. Just apatite, lots of apatite. But if there's anything that you see here on the board, feel free to ask away. So next week, our board will be a little bit different. We're gonna have a $20 everything board next week. So everything you see on the board will be $20 next week. Right now, everything you see on the board is $60 or less. But next week, I'll get a little more organized for our second live show. I'll put together some nice pieces for everyone. Alright guys. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Thanks again for joining.